Good morning, welcome to Plymouth. My name's Paul Reed. I'm a business support advisor for a charity in Plymouth called Routeways. We're here to talk about the Venture programme. Venture was created to help Plymouth-based charities and social enterprises to become more enterprising, make more money and ultimately help more people. And Venture is delivered in partnership with Plymouth Social Enterprise Network, and my good friend Gareth Hart is here to tell you more.
Thanks, Paul. My name's Gareth Hart. I'm from the Plymouth Social Enterprise Network. During this short film, we're going to look a bit more about Venture, how it works, and how it helps community organisations create a whole range of fantastic businesses. We're also going to look at some examples, some case studies. But for now, Paul, do you want to tell us a bit more about Venture?
The Venture programme provided a range of support to organisations in Plymouth. We ran a series of workshops on areas such as social investment, marketing and trading. We recruited a pool of business mentors who use their expertise and advice to support our clients. And finally, we developed a small grant scheme which allowed organisations to buy in specialist-specific advice on things like digital publishing, online retail and other aspects of business development.
Hi again, everyone. We're now in the intriguing setting of the cells at the Devonport Guildhall here in Plymouth. Well, we're going to talk now a bit more about the issues to think about when setting up a business idea and what we've learned through the Venture programme around developing a community enterprise project.
The best way to highlight what we're talking about is to speak to the Venture clients. So I went to Devonport Park to meet Emma from Attic Downs. In this case study, Emma tells us how they're moving towards generating their own income. So what's your shift in terms of enterprise? What are you looking to do and how do you hope to generate money in the future?
Well, because of the way we work, a lot of our classes are enclosed, so we don't actually have performances, we don't do anything to really generate income other than charging a nominal amount to participants.
Yeah.
But now we're looking at actually creating work for performance so that we can go on tour, and actually will help we generate an income through actually selling tickets, but also help raising our profile so that we can actually look to marketing, sponsorship, things like that.
Because you talked about sort of selling merchandise, didn't you, as an option. So obviously the more touring you do, the name Attic Dance becomes more familiar, the more likely to go, oh, well, I wouldn't mind an Attic Dance t-shirt because it becomes a recognised brand, hopefully, in the southwest.
And it's other things as well. It's like thinking differently. We had our community platform and we've had 3, and then the last one we were thinking, well, actually, if we sold drinks, we'd actually make some money on the night instead of just giving a platform for people to see. And we made about 200 quid on, selling nibbles.
Little things like that, and every penny does literally count in this.
Exactly,
in this
and then
world,
you can kind of scale it up for future.
One of the misconceptions we came across in this programme was about the myth that charities can't trade. I mean, we ran a workshop and quite a few people said that. We can't make a profit, we can't do trading as a charity. Well, charities can trade. It's really important that they understand that charities understand that they can trade as long as they're meeting their primary purpose as a charity, or they're looking at setting up trading arms or selling small amounts of services. It is quite a complicated area, and I would say seek legal advice on that. We have got some resources on our website if you want to look at that as well. But charities can trade.
And a final thought with that in mind, charities are often in a good place because charities often have office space, often have staff, often have a ready-made brand that they can then take to the marketplace and use that credibility to generate income. Whereas often private organisations starting off start with nothing. So charities are often in a good place to consider social enterprise activity.
I think people in the public really do trust charities and social enterprises more as well. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. Our second case study, Access Plymouth are a local charity who exists to help local residents and visitors with their mobility needs. I spoke with Leslie, the charity's manager, to talk to her about experiences of Venture and trading as a charity. What's been the sort of key challenges?
Changing mindsets, I think, and I know that sounds quite glib, but I've been here 3.5 years and people were just used to the money tipping up and it was like, well, we're a charity and that's it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what we do, and should we be selling I mean, we have to ask that question, are we allowed to sell? You know, that's where kind of like Venture came in really, because that was the first question, can we sell? So that it's not a bad thing to bring money in, you know, and we can think commercially, but still be supporting the people that need it. We can still get the balance right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's training ourselves and our volunteers and the people that we work with to be able to do that and say, you know, we've got to be able to bring some money in, but it's okay. You know, and also, you know, and be looking for the next thing, the next way to develop.
One of the issues, I think it's fair to acknowledge that being enterprising isn't the right path for everybody. Some organisations are great at getting grants, getting donations and just doing what they do, and they don't need to be trading. That's fine. You know, there's a bit of a myth out there that actually that social enterprise is the right path for everybody and it's suddenly sustainable. And I always say, well, a social enterprise is a great way of working, but you're only as sustainable as how good you are at selling your products. So that's important.
It's business at the end of the day, isn't it?
Absolutely. Another thing is about skills. I think you've got to go into these ideas thinking, okay, where are our skills gaps? Have we got the right skills for kind of selling services, for developing our brand, etc.? We may not have that, and you know that's another area to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, another simplistic example: an organisation provided really good services on a charitable level within the city. Saw an opportunity to sell services, and they were looking to sell training. An example of the training was first aid courses throughout the city to private sector, public sector, and other charities within the city. They tried it, got some leaflets printed out there, got the name out there, but within the first 2 months it hadn't taken off as expected, and they almost gave up really, which is a shame, because just because it hasn't worked within the first 2 months doesn't mean there's a good viable idea there. And sometimes you just need to stick with your plans, review your business plan, and sort of think, right, what are we doing wrong? Look at the skills within the organisation and keep the drive and commitment there. This is our final case study. The Blurt Foundation is a user-led community interest company who support, help and inspire those affected by depression. I went to go and meet Dom, the co-founder, to talk about the new skills they've learned while developing their enterprising idea. What have you learned from the process?
I think the main thing we've learned from the process, obviously, is that outside help for a small organisation like ourselves is massively beneficial.
Yep.
Because there's only so much you can do, and so if you can outsource, I'd totally recommend it, because you're bringing new skill set and different ideas, which will always make the end project result more colourful and a lot more rounded.
Yes.
Luckily, Jane and myself have learnt new skills. So Jane's learned a lot of computer programming skills, and I've had to learn the graphic design side of things, which really helps. And obviously that links in with our vision and the way Blurt is going into the future.
Talking about business, another area is understanding the market and being really savvy about that. So you have to think in terms of sales and understanding market research and the value of things and branding. It's really critical if you're going to go into that world. Because if you're selling something to people, they have a greater expectation of what they're getting. So understanding that's really important. I mean, and passion about what you do.
The sort of human impact, isn't it? You know, the passion and belief to make sure this works, which our sector is really good at. I mean, we work with numerous organisations within the city who've got brilliant passion, brilliant belief. And if we can transfer that into a way in which they can generate their own income, I think the city would be thriving. Thank you for watching this short film on trading, charities and social enterprises. Hope you found it informative and useful. Our next film will be on social investment. But before that, Gareth.
Yep, thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have a look at our website, www.ventureplymouth.co.uk, and we look forward to hearing more from you.
You skip down there.